Well, this video is to talk about what do you need to start a business. This is episode 2, and I can just tell you my journey. It starts, I'm going to take a little bit of background before I started my first business and how that happened. So the background was that my mom and dad were lifelong, regular workers. My mom was a receptionist. My dad was a wire puller for AT&T. So there was no entrepreneur spirit, so to speak, that I came from. No silver spoon, nothing like that. I didn't have a solid spiritual life, and the reason why I say that is I think to start a business, it's good to be strong physically, mentally, and spiritually. So for me, that was part of my journey. So I had about 10 years of Bible reading before I started a business, not prompted by my parents or anything like that. I would also say that what really was a key turn for me was I was working at a governmental type organization and I got let go. And when I got let go, I met a business owner and he was getting ready to get married. And when he was getting married, he would give me all the tasks to run a business. So I knew how to run a back office. I was taught how to be the front office. I was taught how to put together contracts. And he gave me some training. He gave me some training in Dale Carnegie sales, where I was an award winner. And I got some training from something called Sandler Sales Institute. So not only did I have an associate's degree in business, associate's degree in business, 2-year degree, and then I had a 4-year degree in communication. I had done some broadcasting at the radio station there, and I enjoyed that. And then I also knew that my mouth was going to help me do business from that. And I had a major in communication. So I also went to Sandler Sales Training and learned some sales training there for 1.5 years, and I learned some things that were helpful to be able to sell. So the first thing I'd say if you're starting a business is you need to have some capital that either is there so that when you're not making business money, you can survive. I did that not the easy way, at least I don't think it was the easy way. I had taken my 401k and taken it out and purchased a house, so I had no debt. I had a baseball card collection at the time. I sold that and bought a Honda. So I had no debt starting it off. And I actually rented my house out for $1,100 and lived with my new wife in a $400 apartment. But it was a beautiful apartment, so I don't want to make that sound like I was struggling. It was actually on 40 acres in Barrington. And it was beautiful. I won't go deep into that, but it was. We lived in the coach house. So it was small there, and she was let go from her business, and I had put out 99 resumes and gotten no offers, 0. And I thought, like Michael Jordan in the background, I felt like I was Michael Jordan and people were passing and trading on me. So I started my own business because the person before me showed me how to build a business who had let me go. And that said, I knew how to create a database, and I was fortunate that I met a gentleman for a short time that showed me that quality is more important than quantity and how to target, and I'll talk about that in another episode, how to target your clients. And the very short story is I started an IT business, and I had a business partner who I still have, who was very helpful, and he had the technology knowledge, and I had the sales knowledge and how to run a back office. So I did the back office and the front office, the front person, and he would come in and start the technology and build our business there. So for about 2.5 years, my eyebrows were stuck together, and in 2.5 years, I was able to make more money than I was at the 6-year job that I was helping another person build their business. So it was very stressful. I was morning, noon, and night making sales calls, and there were times where it was, I call it quiet times, where there was nobody making sales, but the first thing you need to do is to have some equity to have that. So I built a position where we were making about $800 to keep us healthy and fed through that time frame. A couple of years later, I eventually bought a house, my first house, and thankfully the business grew. And about 7.5 years later, the house was actually paid off, the new house that I had bought. So I had a lot of confidence in myself. And then I started to continue to make sales. So to start a business, you need to know what you want to make. I'll talk about that in the next episode. How do you figure out what you want to make? I think the other thing you need to have is a strong spiritual base, something to read that keeps you encouraged. You don't have to be something motivational. I tend to read some things right in the morning, just these one-page inspirational messages that help me get through the day. The other thing I think that's important is a good support system around you, people who believe in you and people who care for you. The other thing you need to know is your skill set. I knew that my skill set was my ability to talk. So having that and being a good listener is part of talking, and being able to listen to what the other person really needs. And then most importantly as well, is you have to sell something that somebody else needs. We knew that IT support, every company needed IT support. And although I had IT support as a need, we had to find times that people were needing it. So a lot of calls. Think of it as almost like a tow truck. You're driving down the highway in your tow truck and you're looking for the car that's broken. That's kind of like IT support. You're looking for the company that's IT support is broken. Then once you find that company, you need to make sure they don't have a AAA card and they've got it covered and they're calling someone else that they know. So it was a lot of timing, and I was just, I wouldn't stop calling people and building those relationships. I did realize one tip that's going to help you is no is a great answer, because it gets you to the next yes. So you don't want to try to get to the maybe, I hope so, I'm going to try. You really need to get to the no, and you need to know who your target client is. I'll talk about target clients another time, but once you have your target, and once you can get to the right decision maker, and once you can get that yes or no quickly, the faster you're going to move forward. I'll also talk about in the next episode, how to figure out what you want to make. So that'll be kind of interesting. But to start a business, just a conclusion, you need to have some revenue. You can get that through a loan. I didn't choose to do that. I always wanted to have my own revenue. I didn't want to be paying a bank back or feeling that burden of that. So I did it creatively. You need to have a lot of confidence in yourself. You have to have a skill or a product that people want to buy, and you know they want to buy it. Could be coffee at Starbucks. Ours was IT support. That was the first business, and I'll talk about some of the other businesses later. Maybe this is a good time to talk a little bit about some of the other ones. So once you establish your first business, or you don't have to have anything more than your first business, I felt that business was very stressful. You have to be on for IT support. These people's computers are, their whole lives live on their computers. So I started some fun businesses. So I was doing martial arts physically. That was keeping me strong, disciplined, self-centered on being physically fit. And then on top of that, I had a lot of people I was bringing up in that, so they were able to branch out. So that was fun. I realized that after about 10 years, I wanted to do something even more fun. So I started a YouTube channel called My Car Story with Lou, and that has grown nicely, and silver YouTube award is over there on the shelf, which means I have over 100,000 subscribers. And then also to do something else that helped the IT business, I started a CFO mastermind group, which has been going on for 11 years, because the CFOs would be the person who was my target. And when they said their IT business was broke, then I was right there in the room to help them. So I hope some of these tips on what you need to start a business, just in conclusion, you need to have, I think, a strong faith, physical body, mental body, trust in yourself. And it's okay to be an employee of a company, but if you want to be the owner of the company, you have to think a little differently. You have to have a lot of drive, and when people tell you no, you don't get offended with that, so you have to have a lot of tolerance. I think that you need to have some financial backing behind you, whether that's someone who knows you who will help you, your own financial backing like I did, or was really helpful, and obviously you have to have a product or service that really is valuable to sell. So we'll continue the series going forward. Episode 3, we'll talk about how do you figure out what you want to make and what to go after versus different skill sets you might have. We'll talk about those. But I appreciate you guys coming, and the other business I have is a communication consulting business. So if you're a president and your company is stuck in sales or just disconnect in the office between people, there's some tools I have that can help do those, and they're really kind of quick and fast and easy. So if you're a business owner and you'd like to chat or something like that, I'll do my best to look in the comments, or you can just reach out to me. It's pretty easy to find me if you Google my name and look up my phone number. All right, so thanks, guys. I appreciate that, and hope some of the tips that I'm helping you with, the business tips, are helping you. Thanks.